We are live. Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Live call-in show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Today is June the freaking 1st, 2025. We have a fantastic show for you because we have some fantastic callers on the line, as we always do. We're going to get to them shortly. We're going to talk about whatever the heck you want to talk about. That's what the call-in show's for. Joining me as he always is 100% of the time when he's here, Mr. Cole Pinkston. How about you, big dog?
100%, baby. How about
100%. You? 100. Sir Alan Head is on assignment tonight. So yes. We're not going to interrupt him with his assignment. Cole's got his new mic. If you'll notice his collar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fancy.
That makes me feel cool, man. You know, I saw it. I was like, I gotta be that guy. I gotta do it.
I think the young folks might call that a little Riz.
Ooh, I wouldn't know about that.
I don't know. Or is it drip or something? I don't know.
Drip.
Maybe. Is that it?
Maybe.
I think Riz is when you can talk to the ladies.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You're right. Listen, we need Alan. He's obviously the one that would know this.
Absolutely.
Zach probably does too.
Zach would know more than I. Zach, do you know if Riz is like bling? You know, it used to be bling, right?
No, so Riz is your game. That's your game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can talk to women, right?
It'd be this is drip. This is drip. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Now that we got that out of the way. Very important.
Let's see. Just kind of give everybody an update before we get to the phone lines. Auburn had a massive recruiting weekend this weekend. 14 official visitors were on campus, including 5-star safety Jair Edwards, 4-star quarterback Landon Duckworth, linebackers galore. We'll talk about that a little bit. We're going to also mention the baseball team is in a position tonight to secure a berth in the Super Regional, which would be next weekend against, I believe, Hater, J.G. Tate said Coastal Carolina, I believe is what he said.
Who is pretty sporty, I believe, right?
Very. According to Christian, we all were grouped in today up at the complex at the Waltall's Football Performance Center. Yes. We were all comparing notes. Christian said, or was it Jason Caldwell, who said maybe Coastal had won the World Series in our lifetime. I don't remember how long. You might have been gone.
I believe it was Caleb Jones said they won it.
Was it Caleb? Okay.
Yeah.
My apologies to Caleb. So yeah, we're going to be talking recruiting. We'll talk some football if you want to. We saw several football players in and out of the Performance Center this weekend. Cole was there. Had some eyes, some boots on the ground, some eyes in the sky. Saw some guys walking in. Talked to some guys. I'm going to drive. You weren't. Damari Austin has a Tesla truck.
Sure does.
He and Darrell Robinson and Jeremiah Cobb were all up there. He let me sit in it. Next weekend, he promised me he was going to let me take that whip for a spin.
Nice.
You like that, don't you, Zach?
Was it awesome? I mean, I've never been in one.
Yeah, it was like a go-kart steering wheel.
Yeah.
And it was very plain except for this huge, monitor. I mean, you know what I'm saying? There weren't gadgets and knobs everywhere because everything's computerized. So it was pretty cool. I was like, I told him, I was like, let me check out your whip, big dog.
He was That's like, another one.
Come on, whip. Yeah.
By the way, in the chat, someone says Riz, short for charisma.
Is that right?
Wow. Didn't know that. That's news.
Chariz. I love it. Look, that's the best way to explain stuff to older folks. You know what I mean? Like, make it make sense.
And I'm not that old, but I feel old when y'all start talking like that. I feel real old. You know?
Yeah, we shouldn't group you in with us. That's not fair to you, Cole. Because you just turned 37, didn't you?
That's big 3-0.
I'm going to turn 40 for the 10th time this year.
Right.
Funny story, man. I don't know if I've ever told you all this, but I went to speak to an Auburn club, and I was probably 38. I mean, I was getting on up there. And I I was speaking to this Auburn club. I don't remember where it was, and I introduced myself, and I used that joke. But before I could get to the punchline, so I was like, "Hey, my name is Jeffrey Lee. I'm from AuburnSports.com. I'm 30 years old." And I was going to say, and I have been for the past 7 years. But I said, I'm 30 years old, and there was a woman in the front row, looks at her husband and goes, "He's not 30." I was like, "Dang, wench, let me finish my joke."
Jeez.
She was like, "No, he's not. Oh my God, he's not 30. I was like, "Let me finish my joke." All right, we're going to get to the phone lines. I know Kevin from Wilmer's on the hold. Before we do, don't forget, if you're in Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, you're looking for some real estate help, look for no more. Look for the help no more. Looking for some real estate help? Look no more. Miss Jessica Andrews with the Talents Group. Give her a call, 334-704-4442. A lot of fours in that number, Cole Pinkston, but she's a freaking 5-star realtor. If you don't believe me, just ask her. Her that's the best, I want to say sources. But when your client's making you 5-star realtor drip, ooh, yes. When your clients are making you 5-star realtor drip, it's the real deal, folks. She's fantastic, man. I see it every day. She knows the game. She knows how to put you in the best situation to get the best possible scenario for you. So if you're in Auburn, Opelika, anywhere in Lee County, and you're looking to sell your home, maybe buy a home, maybe looking for an investment property, she can do it all. Got great connections, can find stuff off the market for you. Can do it all. Fantastic lady. Fantastic realtor. Give her a call, 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. All right. Let's see what old Kevin's been up to, Cole.
All right.
Kevin, you're live, man.
Kevin from Wilmer, Alabama.
How about you, big dog? How about you, Kevin?
How you doing, Jeffrey Lee?
Man, I'm telling you, big dog, I am doing fantastic. I was hoping I was going to hear from you this weekend, and here you are.
And I got my new Auburn jersey, Deuce 9.
I saw that right before I went on the show, Kevin.
Number 9.
New AV. I believe
Hey,
it's new.
Hey, Cole.
Yes, sir.
Did London Duckworth visit this weekend?
Yes, he did. And, Kevin didn't see him a whole lot. I think he was with Coach Ken Austin and Coach Jesse Stone, and pretty much one-on-one time going on there. He wasn't with the group as much, so they were off, kind of doing their own thing. That's kind of how quarterbacks roll. But he definitely officially visited Auburn this weekend.
Did the running backs visit Auburn?
Was there a running back? I don't think there was a running back.
I don't think there was a running back.
There wasn't the last one. It was Jay Lamar and Derek Cooper. They both visited the first OV weekend. This one was no running backs.
This was linebacker heavy. It was DB heavy. It was offensive line heavy.
Are we trying to get a flip from Alabama?
There was one of those on town.
There was.
In town.
Jamarian Matthews, who is originally from Harvest, Alabama. Jeffrey.
Harvest,
Alabama.
home of Sparkman. There you go.
Now at Gainesville, Georgia. Kevin. Jamarian Matthews is an edge guy. Auburn likes him.
Hey,
But they got a lot of edges on the board.
Yes, sir.
I'll be going to Fairburn, Georgia, Friday.
Oh, Langston
Really?
Hughes.
Yeah, we be building a church for somebody.
Oh man, how about that?
Cool.
Fairburn, Georgia.
Been there a few times. Been to Langston Hughes.
I think there was a, gosh, what was it? Was it Jonathan Mincy? There was a couple of DBs back in the day from Fairburn.
Did they go to Langston Hughes or did they go to a different school?
I think they went to a different school.
Is there a Fairburn school? I don't know.
You know who we saw today? Maybe Creekside. That's it. Creekside.
Gerard Powers.
We saw Gerard Powers. He's not from Creekside, but yes, we saw Gerard Powers. We saw Junior Grosgreen, 2 of the GOAT DBs in Auburn history.
Junior. Sure was.
Junior Rose Green was on campus. Gerard Powers, who's got an 8th grader coming up.
Yep.
And Gerard Powers, here's an interesting note, Kevin. Gerard Powers and TJ Rushing, Auburn's defensive backs coach, Auburn's new safeties coach, played together for 4 years, I believe, with the Colts.
The Colts.
So they're longtime buds. Like they've known each other. They were teammates for 4 years with Indianapolis Colts. So there's a lot of history between those two. Rushing wanted Gerard to bring down the 8th grader that had a camp today, elite camp.
Derek Brown played at.
Derek Brown's.
Brown.
Are you talking about the defensive lineman?
I remember they were the Longhorns. That's all I remember.
Oh, good call, Cole. They sure did.
Yeah.
He was from Sugar Hill Lanier High School.
Lanier. That's it. Yeah.
Hey, you think we get that total? Because Georgia is trying to steal him away.
Georgia's not the only one, Kevin. Michigan's making a play at him as well. We've talked about it, though, Kevin. I think Auburn probably has a card to play there. I don't think it's just over. I do think probably trending towards Georgia right now, but over? Nah, I don't think it's over. I think Auburn's got some cards.
Where's Allen had at?
He is got a family get-together tonight, I believe. Yeah. Couldn't make it, Kevin. He sends his regards.
Here's who I was thinking about, Cole. Zach, if you can share.
Oh, Josh Holsey. Yeah.
Fairburn, Georgia there, Kevin.
Fairburn. Yep. Creekside.
Yeah.
That's where the dogs used to go.
Call in next Sunday night for me.
You're not going to be able to?
Oh, Josh Holtzy.
Yeah.
Josh Holsey.
He's from Fairburn.
I believe he's coaching now.
He is. You're right.
Can't remember where.
And I think our baseball team will win, go the Super Regionals.
I'm trying to say, who are they playing tonight? I have
NC State.
NC State.
Yeah.
Have they started yet?
NC State just played, right? NC State just played and beat Stetson, correct?
Yes.
Ooh.
So if Auburn wins, Auburn goes to the Super Regionals. If Auburn loses, they'll play a winner-take-all game tomorrow.
Okay.
What do you think? You think it's better to play and then play again? Like you're warmed up almost?
War Eagle, Kevin. See you, buddy.
Kevin. Appreciate it.
Damn, NC State won 17-12.
You played a little ball.
Big. They scored 10 runs in like the 8th inning.
Damn.
Is it better to play and then like you're kind of warmed up going into your next doubleheader game, or is it better to be the one coming off the bench, watching and then going to play?
I always like to play, man.
It's a weird dynamic to me. Being a football
always
guy,
like to play.
And I'm the opposite. I'm the team that if I have to lose twice, I can play so much more loose in that first game because I know I have another shot the next day. And it's not if we have one bad game, you go home for good. So you always want to win that first game. And then also, too, what hurts the small schools, they'll lose early and their pitching rotation isn't deep enough. And when they get to this game, you're pitching your 4th, 5th best pitcher?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Because you
they
can't
win. So NC State has to win 3 in a row.
Yes.
Yeah, 3 in a row.
Would be very impressive if they did that. Obviously, you don't want them to.
Right.
I'm just wondering who has the upper hand going into this kind of game. The team that's been playing already or the team that's waited all day for it?
Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I like where Auburn sits. I do. Yeah. I think NC State's played a lot of
better position. Right?
I do. Now, I will say this. If I'm Auburn, I would rather have a game out. I'd rather go ahead and play that rubber match.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather go. So tomorrow is a double header. Is that right?
No, just one game.
So it's best out of 3.
No, well, so every team just gets one loss. It's double elimination.
Yeah,
so
you're right. Okay.
Lost. They would just play one game tomorrow.
Okay. Next weekend is best out of 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Zach, keep us updated if you find the game. I think a couple people on the board are having trouble finding it. If you can,
I looked up.
It's on ESPN Plus.
I don't think it started yet, has it?
Yeah, it has.
Oh,
Auburn has a runner on third and first with 1 out.
Okay.
Let's see. I was trying to find it.
I also have an illegal YouTube link I can post in the
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh, you know what? Some other big recruiting news, Cole. Shortly before we started the show, Tristan Keys, #1 wide receiver in the country, an LSU commitment, set an official visit to Auburn for, I think, next week, next Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Which,
That's interesting.
whatever.
Does move the needle.
Yeah, it does. I will say this. Now, I'm just not like, oh, I'm like, okay. Like he said when he came from Big Cat, he was coming back for an official visit. He was committed to LSU already. We know the relationship with Deuce Knight and him. So, yeah, I mean, him coming back, it moves it. It just kind of it bounces it up a little bit. It's intriguing.
Here's where I'm at, Jeffrey, and we got a couple callers lined up.
Okay.
Exactly this, but man, you got to get your irons in the fire here. You got to. We were talking about this today. Like, how many official visits do you have? It seems like there's a ton more than there used to be. But that's good. Get them in. Make a great impression. Get that part done right now. It doesn't matter if you're the first OV, the last OV. It doesn't matter. I don't care if anybody commits right now. It's open as far as I'm concerned. And then go get it done on the field, and then let's ball. Time to ball. Recruits are going to go.
I think you said it best, Cole, and I think a lot of people on the message board need to hear that again. Like, I'm with you on this. I don't care if anybody commits right now. Don't care.
Not to Auburn either.
Don't care. That's what I'm saying. It does not move the needle for me one way or the other.
We'll celebrate it. It's a big deal. It's still a big deal when somebody commits. I don't want to take away from that. But we're in a new age, guys. We are. Let's not ignore that.
It's fun for somebody to publicly say Auburn is my leader. And that's what the commitment is. That's what Dooley Pritchett has said. That's what, all these, but then you look at a guy like Shadarius Tootle, and behind the scenes, I don't think either one of us, at least going into this weekend, thought Auburn was the leader for a commitment. And a matter of fact, he even said last week after his Georgia visit that Georgia was #1. Make that make sense. I can't.
Well, what it is, if you want to just be real honest about it, is, and I don't know if Auburn's done this, they probably do. Everybody does. The money is out there. It's open. It's free. There's no rules. So they do whatever they can to get commitments. I actually do think Auburn's commit list is smaller because they're probably not making these false promises. I don't think anybody wants to do that.
It's cheap. It's cheaper.
Yeah,
weren't you so glad to hear Kirby come out and say it? Like, we know what's going on. Like I know why so and so didn't want to get his Auburn visit out there. I know why so and so isn't you know what I mean? Like, we know, a year ago why a 5-star wide receiver was committed and canceled the rest of his visits. And I mean, we know, but now it's kind of out there, especially after Kirby was like, listen, we got people committing. They get stipends every month for being committed. They get bonuses for not visiting certain schools. So it's money driven, which we all knew, but it's kind of out there now,
which is shaky ground, if you ask me.
Oh, always. Man. So it's kind of taboo. The whole thing is,
I'll just talk about it. I'm past it. I don't know all the details, but I know what's going on.
That's the problem. Yeah, it's like I don't want to name anybody specific because I don't know for 100% fact. I'm 90% sure what's going on. I've been told that's what's going on, but I don't know it.
Exactly.
All right, keep us going, Zach.
I believe we have Carter here. Carter, you're live, man.
Carter will talk some damn recruiting. Bama lover.
Carter,
you're live. Not be Carter.
Where you at, Carter?
Gentlemen, how about you? Sorry,
how
I
about
hear you.
Bammer lover.
Man,
Carter.
Bammer lover is here.
You ain't watching the baseball game, son?
About the game on the other screen.
There it is.
Carter, you should really make your handle Bammer lover.
Don't do that.
I was going to say that was a trap.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's a trap. Unlike a trap house.
No, I'd be getting Rice would he would obliterate my ass.
I'd probably ban you anyways if I saw a handle. I'd be like, yeah, you're done.
Oh man, well, hey, I wanted to ask y'all something, and this might be a very general / vague question to start out with, and then I got another one. But when guys don't interview after OVs, that doesn't give me much reason for panic. But just in general, I saw where Zaire and Wilkes and Duckworth did not. How are y'all feeling coming out of those? If you have not already said, I would love to hear that first.
I think that's a great question, Cole.
That's a fantastic question because I mean, all we can say, kind of in the moment, Carter. I know you read the corner. Obviously, is hey, he didn't interview. It's hard to give context behind that until we're actually talking to you. It just is.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, and Carter, you've seen how it goes. But I can speak for Zira because I was there for that one, Jeffrey. I'll let you speak to the others. But
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, I checked because I'm the same way. If they don't want to talk, I'm questioning it. I want to know why. Why don't you want to talk? What's the reason? Sometimes it's not Auburn related. Sometimes it's
right.
I got a lot of pressure on me, and all the buzz that's come out with him in Georgia lately. I can understand why he might go. I just don't want to put anything else on record right now. Maybe what I say gets taken wrong. Maybe. So when I check on Zira, I did that today after I left. Heard the visit went great. That's what I'm hearing. I'm going to write an OV Buzz Insider on this. But, I mean, I don't think there's any concern there. I think Auburn's still got a great shot. He was with his brother Killian, who was decked out in his Auburn gear, all weekend. It's just when it comes to the interview process, everybody approaches it differently. And you kind of have to remember that.
Some of these, Carter, some of these guys, believe it or not, man, they're not very good at interviews. And I can't remember who it was, like last year or something, but he was like, I'm not very good, but I'm going to keep doing this because I'm going to have to get better at this. Remember that, Cole?
Who was that?
We couldn't get him to interview, and we thought he was kind of just a Richard, and it was no, but he was just very insecure. And
that wasn't Deuce, was it? No, I don't think so. I don't think it was Deuce.
I remember you saying that, Jeffrey. I remember you saying that.
I can't remember who it was, but it was awesome because he was very honest. And Hezekiah he gets very nervous. And so if Hezekiah would have left today, we all would have went, oh my God, what's going on? But in reality, if Hezekiah had left, it was because he was too insecure to come up and do the interviews. Like he was very tentative, I guess. And very, he was thinking of his words. And listen, you go back and watch my first shows on this YouTube channel. Dude, I know the feeling, man. I mean, you talk about what do I do with my hands? That's exactly what I was doing. I had no idea what I'm doing.
You had been in this a lot. I mean, when I jumped in, I went back and watched it the other day. It's rough.
So Carter, that's one. But I will say this for Wilkes, for Duck, excuse me. And who was it? Ty Boogie? No, it wasn't Ty Boogie. It was Daryl. It was Trey Harris. Trey Bell. There you go.
Yeah.
For those three, Carter, today they had an elite camp, which was really for younger guys. Camps aren't what they used to be. But so there was a lot of people in and out of that front door. And, most of the guys, when we got them, when they left, it was kind of quiet. It was kind of, whatever. It was right after registration. So there wasn't a lot of traffic. The later guys, a lot of traffic, and they were just like, man, let's just go out the side.
It was a cluster, Carter. They had all kinds of campers coming in and out, and it was loud and not a great day for interviews. Not a great day for interviews.
So don't read too much into that. Wilkes is not a very he was great for Big Cat, and I think Cole talked about this last week. That was an anomaly for him. Like he's usually pretty reserved.
You said RBF, Jeffrey.
Yes, right.
Yes.
So even if he had walked through the front door or walked out the front door, I don't know that he would have talked. So I wouldn't read too much into any of that. Hell, you saw last year with Deuce Knight, and I think Cole, when you talk about you don't want to put something on record, when Deuce Knight was visiting Auburn all those times, just keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I respect it. I mean,
I do too.
And that's what I was thinking along the lines without any context. Like, these guys, I can't imagine myself giving a freaking interview at 17, 18 years old. Good Lord.
Well, Carter, I
mean,
I did that one time, and it was horrible. So,
Some are just natural,
I-
but
I
not
feel
only
you.
that, but it's like 4 or 5 of us, like a day like today, there's 6 microphones in your face, and there's
Yeah.
people walking around, and the coaches are sitting over there, and it can get nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Well, another thing I wanted to ask is this is I don't know. This has just been bugging me lately. I don't think, and y'all can I would love to hear y'all's feelings on this, but I don't think that we can get both Jira Edwards and Braylon Womack. I just think that that's going to command, might command $700,000 worth of NIL or more, and that's a lot. And we already cleaned house. We already got we got a full house last class with Eric Winters and New Boy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I had to guess right now between those two, who, if we get one of them, who they might be. I don't know. I feel like the St. Francis thing is pulling me one way with Jira Edwards, but at the same time, you got Braylon Womack with his sister at Auburn, and you got that family thing. Like Cole said, come signing day, he's going, he might commit before then, but mama and daddy going to look at him when he goes to sign those papers, and they might say, it's time to come closer to home. If you had to pick, which one of those two do you think we have a better shot with? I can't tell.
I think Allen would say Braylon Womack.
After today, I feel like it's Edwards.
I do too. No, and that's not fair to Allen, but he likes where Auburn sits with Braylon Womack, and I do too.
Well, Carter and Allen are tracking together on this because Allen has said a bunch of times he doesn't see Auburn get both of those guys, and I'm starting to agree. Especially if the revenue sharing, which we don't need to get into all that without Allen here, if that comes into play. We need his help on that. But, yeah, I'm with you, Carter. It's going to be a lot, which is why, and the corner freaked out and put up a new safety target to track. Tony Forney from Cale over there in your area, Georgia.
Jonathan Dwyer.
That is not, when you put him up, that dude is literally not 10 minutes from me and the Bammer lover from our house.
Nice. But I mean, you got that guy, Carter. You got Trey Bell, is a safety target that they had on campus this weekend. I mean, they got a couple.
Tyreek Green,
that's another one.
Ty Boogie.
I think could be pretty obtainable if Auburn really wanted him. So they're making sure they got it all laid out to where if they don't get both. It's an interesting situation, though, Jeffrey. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think this is realistic. Maybe the family thing that Carter just mentioned plays a huge factor, a bigger factor than we're even talking about at this point. And the NIL just works out for that, right? Because his parents, and he wants to be with his sister and closer. And then you have what you got going for Jira with everything there. I think there's a world where you can get both.
Yeah.
It's a little optimistic, though.
Yeah, I don't – and I will say this, Carter. Last year, I think we all had confidence in Auburn getting both Eric Winters and New Boy. But you had Charles Kelly and no slight to TJ Rushing at all. TJ Rushing just doesn't have the resume that Charles Kelly has. He doesn't have the relationships, the deep relationships at those schools as Charles Kelly, and the respect and admiration of those administrators and teachers and coaches as Charles Kelly did throughout the state of Alabama. So,
and those guys were in state too. It helps.
In state, safety was a huge position of need. And I mean, I know it is now. They're putting a lot of emphasis on it, but it's still not like it was last year. So, you hope to get one. I'm with Cole. There's a world where you get both. But you hope to get one, and then maybe get a 4C. Or my mic went out, Cole. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I've got a fun question to close it out for y'all.
All right.
What was the loudest game you both of y'all and Zach have ever been to at Jordan Hare Stadium. I'm going to throw mine out and then I'm gone. 06 Florida. First year, me and my dad had season tickets, and then I went on a 140 straight home game streak run from there. And that still to this day, even with the kick six, that game was still the most lit ever.
Was that the one where Brad Lester had that run where he
Yes,
dragged guys for like 10 yards?
That was it. That was the year before the West Byram kick.
Yep, that's right.
Man, let me say this: none in the even A&M this past year. That's not even on my top 10. Like the past since Gus left, the crowd has been disappointing. Even the best crowds have been disappointing. I mean, and understandably so. Not a lot to get crazy about.
Consistently, they have been, compared to what we're used to, a little bit disappointing. And it's hard, because it's been hard to celebrate for being down in games, and it's just not been a lot. It falls off. It starts hot, falls off. That's kind of how I've perceived it.
Even the best has been mid.
You remember, Jeffrey, you and I were standing down there at the Penn State game.
Yeah.
And Owen Papo made that hit, and we looked at each other and went, that was loud.
It's on.
So they've had moments. In fact,
and then they shit the bed, didn't they?
Yes, of course.
God, I was so pissed off at them. Oh, we worked so hard to build up that game, and they just.
I think but there's been moments, Carter, in the last couple of years.
Sure.
I think there was a moment that might rival any moment I've been in Jordan Hare, and you wouldn't guess it. It was Georgia not this past year when Auburn played away, but when Auburn had Georgia at home, I guess 23.
Yes.
And come out from halftime, Auburn gets a fumble. They get on a fumble. And then I think they score. I have to look back on it. But the very next drive, Georgia fumbles again. Keldrick Falk gets on it, which it ends up getting reviewed, and it's not a fumble. But that moment, Jordan Hare exploded in a way that I hadn't heard since 2010 LSU, the Cam Newton Heisman run. I was at that one. That was the loudest.
Here's mine. 1993 Auburn, Florida. I think that was my first game at Auburn, and Auburn beat. I can't remember. Florida was ranked. That was Terry Bowden. Because you had to go to the game to watch it because it wasn't on TV.
That's crazy.
So the crowd was just freaking lit.
Yep.
So I'm gonna say that, man. 1993 Florida Auburn.
Tell you the loudest game I've ever been to in general was 2019 Florida Auburn at the Swamp.
Dude, hey,
oh my gosh,
Florida always. Auburn and Florida fans are big. The Georgia game's always loud. LSU's always loud. For some reason, in Alabama, I don't know if I just expect it, and so I don't really pay attention to it. But Alabama on 4th and 75 when they beat Auburn 2 years ago.
Were you at the kick six?
No, I was not.
I wasn't either. What about the Georgia game before that?
Mm-mm. No, I was in North Carolina that year.
I would imagine those were pretty loud, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Zach, what's yours? Did you say?
I would say probably the 2017 Georgia game when they came in ranked number 1 when Carry-On took it on that screen pass and it kind of hit everybody that we were going to win. The honorable mention would be when Jacoby McClain took that pick six back
Boom.
against 2019.
That was the last lit crowd I remember.
That was the last Auburn game I went to in person.
That was the last memorable crowd for me. Like A&M was forgettable. The game wasn't, but the crowd was. Even the storm in the field, I thought that was.
We need to get you back.
I know, man. I've been working these FCS games on Saturday, so it's hard to balance it out. But I want to get back. I'm going to a game for sure.
The problem with that 2017 is that it was such a back and forth game. So it was crazy, and then it was silent. because it was just back and forth.
Because if you remember, Smoke Monday had that pick six early in the game, and it was deafening. And then when you went back, you remember Jalen Waddle had that big punt or kick return, and it went dead silent. And then Auburn would score, and it would get loud again. There was just so many back and forths. Like Jalen Waddle went for like 3 or 4 touchdowns that game.
He was ridiculous in that game. Absolutely ridiculous.
I will say an honorable mention that was outside of Auburn. I was at the Oregon game when Nix hit Seth Williams on that game winner. I'm telling you, I've been to a few neutral sites. It was deafening in that stadium when Bo Nix found Seth Williams.
Wow.
Was that in Atlanta?
No, that was in Dallas.
Okay.
At Jerry World.
That's right.
You're right. 2019 opener, right? Bo Nix's first game.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Gosh, yeah, it was. Oregon was killing Auburn in that game, and then Auburn comes out of nowhere.
Left. It was
left.
Played horrible all game.
Let's see. Good stuff, Carter. The old Bammer lover. Good stuff, man. We appreciate you calling in, big dog.
1836. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Eric from Coleman.
What's up, Eric?
War Eagles. Hey, not much. Actually at work right now. So this is usually where I'm at whenever y'all do the.
All right, Eric. Appreciate you.
So I can't call too much. But I hadn't had a chance to listen before I called, so I don't know if the questions kind of been brought up.
That's all right. Shoot us, big dog.
So I've been going back and watching some of the old Ole Miss games back when Chad Kelly was there, and to me that was like the most prolific time for Hugh, his offense and stuff. And so when I was watching Chad Kelly, like he didn't seem to have like the best arm and all that stuff, but it was like he just knew how to run that offense. Like a gamer, like he made the right decisions. And like something that stood out to me probably the most was like a difference between him and Thorne was like when Thorne would run it, like he was an average runner. I don't really know what you'd categorize Kelly but as running ability, but it's like Kelly, whenever he would pull it on like a 3rd and 2, like he was getting that 2 yards. Like it was like whenever he did pull it, like or make the right read, like he got the extra yards that extended the drives, to let them, go down the field and stuff. So, but with really the last 2 years with Thorne, it was like he would pull it. I guess mainly like a lot of people focus on last year. I think it was the Georgia game where he pulled it and got killed. So my thinking is like if Arnold can be like a gamer, he can have that gamesmanship of like just extending the drives and stuff, pulling it on the zone reads, getting the 2 or 3 yards and stuff on those to get the first downs. Like to me, that would be probably one of the biggest things for the offense to grow, because that's extending the drives, that's getting more plays, more opportunities for Coleman, Singleton, the running backs and everything. To me, that's where our offense locked down last year, because we couldn't make those kind of plays, like to get those short yards and stuff, like when needed. I mean, yes, our offense was prolific. We put up a bunch of yards and stuff, but just, especially in the red zone, it just kind of fell apart a lot of times. But I guess that's my question: is do you think that Arnold can make those kind of plays like Kelly was able to, or like, so, maybe not to, quite like Kelly, but just able to extend drive, to make the plays to extend the drives to get more plays on offense and rest of the defense and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what Hugh Freeze is banking on. That's what he was looking for in a quarterback this cycle, and there's not a ton of evidence of Jackson Arnold doing it at Oklahoma. I mean, it's really hard to get a great idea of what he is from watching the Oklahoma stuff because it was worse off than Auburn offensively. They had to fire their coordinator, the whole thing. I do think he's got a lot of gamesmanship, though. I wouldn't quite – Kelly was – there was some scrappiness to Kelly, if I remember correctly, where it's like – I would call it like Johnny Manziel ability, where he pulls a Houdini all the time. It's like, how is he able to do that? And it leaves you like scratching your head. And he didn't just do it a few times; he did it a lot. I think Jackson Arnold is a little less Houdini-ish and more drawn in. He looks to be pretty poised, from what I can tell. Tennessee game's not great. If you want to look at that one, he had trouble in that one. Kind of got behind the 8 ball, and it was bad from there. But you watch the Alabama game, very poised. They didn't ask them to do too much, though. Runner, I mean, they had about 140 yards in that game rushing, which is crazy. I'll say this, just to sum it all up. This offense, Hugh Freeze's offense, it is designed to have the answer for any defense thrown at it. But you got to be perfect. That's not possible. There's no human on this planet that's perfect. Can it be explosive enough to overcome the mistakes that are going to be made? And that's what the deal was with Kelly. They were so explosive, it didn't matter when he threw a pick. Didn't matter. That was not the case this year. If Peyton Thorne threw a pick, if Peyton Thorne was sacked, it's almost like, good God, we just took 5 steps backwards. You have to get past that to where a turnover or a sack is not the end of the world because you're going to make another big play. And I think Arnold has that ability. That's what I think Freeze likes about him.
Awesome. Yeah. That's my hope is, nobody's perfect, but hopefully, like you said, hopefully the offense just with the receivers and, the running back, their improved O-line, that they can be explosive enough to overcome that. Because, like you said, if Thorne was sacked or really even a negative run play, just a negative play, it was almost that drive was done. Because we just couldn't overcome that last year.
Yep.
And I will ask one more question if you don't mind, if I have time.
Sure.
So watching some of the games last year, it seemed like the O-line had a hard time picking up like twists or stunts or however you want to phrase it.
Yeah.
Is that more like coaching, or does that fall along the lines of just kind of the offensive line knowing, like recognizing and knowing what to do? Which I know you can't block a twist all the time. That's why defensive lines do it. But just wondering your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I think some of the problem is, again, this offense is all put on the quarterback's back. That's one of my philosophical things that I don't really care for. I've helped with offenses. I've watched, my dad call plays all my life. I kind of have an idea of how things are done in his way. And his thing was, I don't want to put too much on the quarterback. A little different in high school than it is in college, obviously. But quarterback makes a lot of those protection calls, man, in this offense. And if it's not the right call, it's going to look awful. And the offensive line always gets blamed for that stuff. And sometimes it is their fault. But the good news, I guess, moving forward is I don't remember seeing guys just getting whipped on the edge. Miller a couple times. Percy Lewis, he's gone. Those are the guys getting whipped a few times. It was mostly, like you said, twist, and a guy comes free because there's a misassignment. Somebody misses their zone they're supposed to be backing up in, that kind of stuff. So to me, that's a good sign because it's not players are not getting killed. I think they can handle their own. You get that stuff fixed. Maybe your quarterback's a little bit better at getting protection right in a jam. Maybe you take it off quarterback and you say, we're going to call the protection. You just run the play. Maybe that's how they do it. They're going to fix that. I feel like that's a huge point of emphasis.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Like you said, I think I remember Lewis getting blown up like a couple times and then getting benched pretty quick. And then I think from like some of your videos you post, like Miller getting beat a couple times. So that was about it. Yeah, most of it to me was like the twist and then the delayed blitzes, which again, that's kind of the running back pass blocking and all that stuff. I know there's a lot more that goes into it, just the O-line. But that's I was just curious. Like I was thinking that it was maybe the center, that made more of the pass blocking calls and stuff like that, like hot reads or adjustments and all that. But anyway, that's all I had. I appreciate y'all taking my questions. Love the board. I'm a member of the corner, or on 3 in the corner and all that.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And don't miss any of these, man. I really enjoy what y'all do.
Hey, Eric, before you leave, man, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You live in Coleman?
Yeah, I live in Coleman.
Is Robert E. Lee Mobile Home Liquidator still in business? You know what I'm talking about?
Funny story. Yeah, I do. I graduated high school with that dude's oldest daughter.
Have you seen this, Cole?
Oh no, I have not.
You gotta
YouTube and look up the Coleman Liquidators. It is hilarious.
The funniest commercial you'll ever see is Rock.
Oh,
My name's Robert E. Lee. We sell mobile homes. They're mobile. They're homes. They got blood on the floor. There was a baby mauled by a pit bull in the closet over there. If you don't want them, don't call me. I'm Robert E. Lee.
I got hit in the face by my wife's boyfriend with a crescent wrench. You remember that one?
Yes.
Oh man, I gotta find that.
Yeah, everybody's got to see that.
That's great.
It's hilarious.
Oh man, it was. Yeah, that was one of the best videos ever.
Well, Eric, thanks so much, big dog. Appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you being a member of the site.
No problem. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
War
Hey,
Eagle.
Jeffrey, I meant to ask you. I had just a quick PWO. We make it very quick, like 30 seconds, because I saw a commercial right before I came up here, and it started a conversation. You put your ketchup in the fridge or in the pantry after you've opened it?
Absolutely, the fridge.
Me too.
It says refrigerate after opening.
Does it?
It does.
My dad, he insists on putting it in the pantry after you open it. And I had some of the ketchup at his house the other day. I was like, something's wrong with that. It doesn't taste right to me.
What about your hot sauce?
I put it in the fridge.
Me too. But I mean,
seems like an oxymoron, I guess. But
I'm not like, oh my God, what are you doing? It's personal preference, man. I mean, I eat warm room temperature ketchup all the time when I go to restaurants.
That's true. It is sitting out at restaurants, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. But I think they might refrigerate it at night. I don't know. Something we ought to pose to a waiter.
Zach, where are you at? Are you a fridge guy?
Yes.
He's a fridge guy.
I think it's personal preference, but I do think it says refrigerate after, or maybe it says for best results. Refrigerate after.
I thought you had to refrigerate it after opening.
I do too. I mean, it's got maters in it.
Hogbone in the chat says ketchup does not say that.
I expected that from Hogbone.
He never looked.
I just don't like it when it's warm, but I eat it at a restaurant. I guess that's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Are you a Heinz guy?
I think I like Hunt's better.
Ooh. I always I buy Heinz, but I'm not like, I like the change up. I mean, there's even like a Gold Star ketchup or something. I can't remember what it is. It's like you can get it Dollar General. It's like the Dollar General brand or something.
Oh, yeah, the Gold Star, yeah.
Yeah.
Fancy ketchup.
Ketchup. What's going on?
I don't get too crazy with my brands on ketchup, mustard. Now, hot sauce is different. I eat one hot sauce and one hot sauce only, and that's Tabasco.
Oh, okay. I like Tabasco on my Philly cheesesteaks. I like Crystal on my pizza. I like
Crystal. Like, it's just,
my oysters.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Good stuff, Eric from Coleman. Tell old Robert E. Lee's daughter I said hello.
I believe we got Anthony here. Anthony.
Hey.
That's what we needed right here.
Yeah.
Fellas.
Fellow.
What's up?
How y'all doing tonight?
I'm fantastic, Anthony. How about yourself, big dog?
Absolutely.
Am I clear? I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, we got you.
Mm-hmm.
Am I clear? Can y'all hear me good?
Very well.
Yeah, so really ain't got a question. I just got a couple thoughts. I just want to get y'all thoughts on what I got to say. So I've been sitting and thinking, man, get ready for the season. And I find myself asking myself, are we sure that Justin Arnold can't be that guy? Let's go down the timeline. You got a 5-star plus guy that came in, played some snaps, mop-up duty, played the bowl game, did pretty decent. And he rolled into his red shirt freshman year. You know, I think people forget that he still was a freshman. Had everything stacked against him. He lost his top guys. Offensive line was trash. And granted, he played bad he played bad in the Tennessee game, but he was a freshman also, and I feel like Venable was paying it. He benched him, and he came back, and he answered the call. I mean, he didn't throw the ball much, but most guys, you understand, a 5-star guy like that, 5-star plus guy, probably never been benched in his life. Probably been the guy since maybe 11, but he answered the call, and now everybody roll him off. But my thing is, we haven't seen him. Like, how do we not know what all of this? This was a 5-star plus. They just don't give away. They just don't hand out 5-star plus to these guys. Are we sure that he can't be the guy? Like, I feel like he haven't had a offensive line that can protect him. He haven't had a receiver core that can get open. Yeah, they say he hold the ball too long, but Peyton Thorne started for 5 years and didn't trust the guys. What you think a guy that started for his first year started that he playing with walk-ons? Guys know the guys that can get the job done.
You know what, Anthony?
I just been thinking, man. Like, I just feel like he got a raw deal, man. It's a fresh start, and he got some elite talent around him. I really think, just sitting back and thinking, like, we haven't seen what this kid can do. What if we get that 5-star plus guy? I still think it can happen because he was a freshman last year, first year start. Don't nobody talk about that. They just like, oh, Jackson Arnold's not what we thought he was. But what did he have around him? He had no line, he had no receivers. And this is his first year where he's gonna have a decent offensive line, above average offensive line, that's a weapon. So I know a lot of people say, oh, he's a stopgap guy for a deuce, but the kid just in his second year. How we know he can't take the reins and run with it? So that's just my thoughts on what y'all think about that.
Anthony, let me ask you this. When you were describing that, I was thinking, man, Oregon folks could have said the same thing about a guy that transferred to them.
Exactly.
Everything you just said, I was thinking, man, that sounds like Bo Nix.
Great point.
I'm probably one of the last 3 Bo lovers.
Me too.
Always my QB1 because I love Bo, man. Bo failed Auburn. Auburn didn't fail Bo, but that's a whole nother conversation.
I completely agree. I do not fall. I think Bo Nix is probably that was the smartest move I've ever seen a college player make.
It was, man. It was. I hate to say it.
All Auburn fans hate Bo Nix, but didn't nobody want to win for Auburn more than Bo. That's
Absolutely.
crazy. I seen like the day that I saw y'all, Bo Nix mom and his wife was at the game.
Oh yeah, and his sister too. I remember seeing all that.
Arkansas game. They was there. I walked right past.
Yeah.
So
at the time, Auburn fans didn't really know what they had in Harsin and that deal. So they were
the backup guys always the most important guy.
But man, but to your point, man, I'm optimistic about him, Cole. I'm in the. I think he can do it. I think he can get Auburn. I don't think he's going to be the source of losses. As much as I hate to say it, but I feel like Peyton Thorne was the reason for a couple of losses last year and the year before.
He definitely wasn't the reason they won in a lot of those.
Maybe that's the better way to put it.
Yeah.
I'm not, nothing personal against Peyton, but
no, I think I love Peyton. I think he fought his guts out for Auburn, but it just wasn't set up great at times, and then other times it was on him. And I think he would tell you the same thing. With Jackson, another point
a lot of people say that we just need him not to go out there and lose games because they've been shell shocked from the quarterback from the last couple of years. But man, let the guy go ball. We haven't seen him. Like Payne Thorne, I get what people say. Okay, he started stuff, but we don't know because the kid started. Like, let's not forget that Oklahoma told Dylan Gabriel, like, yeah, we good. Thanks, but no thanks. We got Jackson on. So this guy had to show something to make them, because Gabriel went back. You see what he went up there to Oregon did? They told him to leave, like, yeah, Jackson up next. That's why he left before the bowl game. We don't know. This kid can come in and especially now with a chip on his shoulder, because everybody's saying he can't get the job done. But he didn't have nothing around him. So I'm really intrigued to see how he answered the call.
Have people been like saying he can't get the job done?
Well, you
No,
know,
I
have,
mean,
supporters they just saying, they just basically saying that they're not saying he can't get the job done. They just like,
it's
well,
there's a couple. I mean,
Yeah.
it's mostly like outsiders, not Auburn people that are saying that. People that
Okay.
have watched him closer, like maybe Oklahoma people. They're like, actually, I think he gets a little bit of respect from Oklahoma people, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I'm not really in that world, but one thing about Jackson, I want to your point, Anthony. Everybody talks about him getting benched, and that's a big concern. It should be. You wonder why that happened and whatever. Michael Hawkins came in, and he wasn't terrible. I mean, he had some freshman mistakes. He notches a win against Auburn, right?
Yeah.
And then Jackson wins the job back. I find that part to be interesting. I think we need to give that just as much credit as the benching. He won the job back from a guy that notched a win in the SEC at quarterback after the benching. That's interesting. Both of those things are interesting. One more point I wanted to make too. If you were looking at Peyton Thorne's stats coming from Michigan State, let's say I think somebody made this point a couple weeks ago. If Arnold and Thorne were both in the portal at the same time, stats wise, which a lot of people like to cling on to that, you're taking Thorne all day from what he was doing at Michigan State. He had a 3,000-yard season with 27 passing touchdowns.
I can't hear that without you. 6,000
Hey guys, I
yards.
got a question. I don't mean to cut y'all. Quick question. I meant to ask. I meant to call an ask. How many games last year do Auburn win if Ashton Daniels started quarterback?
Oh,
What was the question?
if Ashton Daniels is the quarterback last year, what's Auburn's record?
Oh.
Damn.
That's a great question.
I would listen. I think it's 7 or 8 wins. What did Auburn finish? 5 and 6 and 5 and 7?
5 and 7.
5 and 7.
Ooh. I'd give them 7 or 8 wins.
It almost comes down to like one play. Like to give him the Oklahoma win. Go back to that play, the 3rd and 6, where there's a pick 6.
Yeah.
How does Ashton Daniels handle that one situation? That would change the outcome of the game. And that's a hard thing to answer because you just don't know what he would do in that situation. Given a play like that, Jeffrey, we've talked about, that play was stupid.
Dumb.
How does he handle that situation? Does he just eat it, take a sack? If that's the case, Auburn might win that game.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Maybe he pulls it down and runs, and he's a great runner. So,
yeah.
Can I play like devil's advocate? I think Auburn's probably worse with Ashton Daniels.
Ooh.
I'm not as high on him as a lot of people are. Like, he also had turnover issues. Stanford won like one game last year. He threw 3 picks in a loss to San Jose State last year. Like, I just don't think people are being completely fair to Thorne.
I think you're right, Zach.
If you add Cam Ward, yes, then you expect 9-10 wins if you had Cam Ward over Peyton Thorne. But
he's
Ashton Daniels isn't like this game changer.
You're right.
In my opinion.
No, here's the deal. He's not Peyton Thorne, and that's what I was judging off of.
My bad.
Anybody's better than Peyton was last year.
To your
That wasn't
point,
fair.
that I get what you're saying, but also I think the offense totally changed with Ashton Daniels. I think they embraced it.
Yeah.
Even though they ran, I think they would. I think the offense would change. They would embrace his running style. Like I don't think on that play, like Cole said on the Oklahoma play, I think they put the ball in his hands and get him outside the pocket some on that, or give him an option to run on that. Say that Thorne through a pick on. That's just my thought on it.
And another thing on Ashton Daniels is all I've ever seen in highlights. I've never seen him throw a pick. I've never seen him get sacked. All I've ever seen on Ashton Daniels was his highlights. That's all I've seen.
Well, he's a very inconsistent passer, Jeffrey, because I've watched a game of his and probably need to do some more of that. I might do that on the board this week.
Where in the hell does he fit in, man? I don't know.
Well, he's just such a good runner. I mean, he's a really good runner. He's not like average. He's good.
Okay.
So you have to ask, how much does that – I'll ask you, Zach, since you were making the point, which I think was a good point, and Anthony. I mean, does that make a difference if you have what would you consider a slightly above average runner in Peyton Thorne? Probably exceeded his expectations as a runner, honestly, versus a pretty good runner in Ashton Daniels. Does that make a difference at all?
I mean, I think so if you scheme it right. But the problem comes into, do you trust Ashton Daniels to take advantage of DeAndre Lambert-Smith and Cam Coleman and these guys down the stretch? Because if you're running and running and running, how are you going to convince Cam Coleman to come back this year?
That's a great question.
You throw him 6 passes a game to end the season. Remember that's what Auburn did?
That is exactly why.
What do you guys think about
Auburn
this? What about
did not give it to Hunter as much as everybody wanted.
if
That's
Ashton
why.
Daniels,
Yep, Cole.
if Ashton Daniels, the Robbie Ashton package with passing in it, with a little bit more trust to throw the ball downfield. That's what I think the offense will look like.
I would say if you're going to do a package like that, I would rather put Deuce Knight. I think Deuce Knight's a better athlete than Ashton Daniels.
I'm saying last year if he started. I'm saying last year, not this year. I don't want to touch the field this year.
Anthony, that's just a big loser to me, man. I hate the 2-quarterback system. I hate the package.
No. I'm not saying the pack. I'm saying y'all missed what I'm saying. I'm saying last year if he started, I said the offense would look like what Robbie Ashton when he was in the game ran.
Oh, I see.
A different system.
To throw down the field because they didn't trust Robbie. That's why I don't want him to play this year. I'm saying last year.
Yes, I got you. I'm with you. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Great question.
I think Zach's points were fantastic.
I think I'm gonna have to dive into an Ashton Daniels game this week on the board because of this.
I would like to see his worst game, and I would like to see his best game.
Yeah,
let's do it. Got nothing but air and opportunity.
Air and opportunity, and YouTube. Good stuff, Smitty J. Appreciate you, big dog.
I believe we have Darren here. Darren, you're live, man.
Good afternoon or evening, everyone. How are y'all?
How about you, Darren, from Niceville, Florida?
We got you a little earlier tonight since we started late, kind of. I mean, however that works.
Kinda. Yeah, I've been listening. Don't call in unless I really have something I feel like would bring value to so many great callers like Anthony. Yeah, so man, good show. Good show. Even missing Allen, but a good show. And probably and I've traveled. Some of the best fans that I've seen so far in being host were Clemson and A&M. I've been to A&M twice. That game where we sacked Manziel, that was a loud game at Stadium.
Was that D4?
That one where just carry on totally into the ground. Just carry on couldn't hardly pick itself up. So one was the old stadium, one was the new stadium. But the loudest stadium was Bo Nix. I was at the Swamp when Bo and we lost that game. What was it, number 5 against number 3 or something?
Yeah, Darren, that's the loudest game I've ever been to. It was ridiculous.
Oh, was that 19?
Absolutely.
It was crazy. I couldn't believe how loud it was. It was even loud, Darren, when Derek Brown picked up that fumble. I mean, there was enough Auburn fans in the building to create some buzz.
Yes. Yeah. Hey, have you ever seen a big guy do more than he did that game?
I have to go back and watch that game.
Didn't he have like 2 picks in that game or something? I mean, he was crazy.
He almost returned one like 90 yards or something like that.
Yeah. Batted it to himself, caught it, and took off or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's right.
It was crazy. So, I was at Kick 6, and I was at the Jordan Hare, and I was at the wheel route with Mississippi State. Been in a lot of big games. I'm so into the moment. Sometimes maybe when I'm at that game, I don't realize how loud the place is. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cole and I have the benefit of being down on the field and getting it. So nobody's right in our ear hollering. We're not part of it. So we're kind of separated from it and we get to experience it all. I think we get a better go ahead. If you know what I mean, Darren, like I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. So question, and because of NIL, the new way things are going, and I'm just not really sure. I know that we've seen a lot of slow, much more methodical, slow. Are the agents now telling these guys, hey, if you're a high 4-star, 5-star, and you're highly sought after, let's go see everybody. Let's see what everybody's got, and then hang on, because if you're of need, maybe you kind of play it, slow roll it a little bit longer to get that money up a little more as time goes by. How is that working out? Are y'all seeing anything like that maybe need, and your status may be causing some people to hang on to their commitments a little longer?
Well, we know everybody's paying most of these top recruits to visit. I mean, I've heard upwards of $25,000 for a 5-star to get him to visit, to take an official visit to your campus. That's the most I've ever heard. In years past, it's been 5,000. Hell, you go back to the Harsin days. We were reporting back then that James Smith and Quay Russo were getting $5K every time they came to Auburn. That's why they were at every home game. They had no intentions to ever sign with Auburn. I wouldn't say that. Rock was here, I believe. So there was a relationship, but
yeah.
But they were getting, they were at every home game, and it's like, maybe they've got a shot here. Rock's on him. And then they went to Alabama. Well, come to find out, they were getting $5K every time they came to the game. So the official visits and stuff. So like Tristan Keys coming to Auburn, that to get a check. Is he really interested? But as far as agents and stuff, you're talking. They know how to work the market. They know who's in it.
Yeah.
It's almost like agents in the NFL. This team needs a safety in the first round. This team needs, they're looking at a safety in the third. So we're going to go. Their interest is going to be in that first round team. So whoever needs that.
That's what I thought might have been happening behind the scenes that we're not really seeing how they're playing the game.
Mm-hmm. Lots of games within the games within the game.
Yeah. And I think Jackson is he's the guy. I'm going to be optimistic also, and I think that was a train wreck last year at Oklahoma. And I think we're kind of due. I'm ready for the UA to come off of our uniforms, because I feel like it's just not right having a AU team having a UA stamped on their chest. So I'm ready for the Nike swoosh to come on, and it's
30 days
our karma moving forward. That's just me.
1 month from today.
It's going to be
and
really
by the way, ketchup in the refrigerator. After it's open, I got to put it in there
for sure
and have it there. Hot sauce the same way I put it in there. It's in there.
I like it. I like it, Darren.
Y'all have a good evening.
Appreciate you, big dog. Yeah, man. There's just so much to recruiting, and it was so simple when it was just relationships and immediate playing time, and then it was maybe a late night, a last minute $50,000 drop at the house on the front porch with grandma. I mean, that was all you had to really consider as far as flips goes late. Now it's
a mess.
It's so many more factors to go into where this kid's going to go. Good stuff, Dan. Appreciate you calling in, big dog.
Last caller of the night, 5799. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from? 5799. You're live.
I think somebody's watching Paw Patrol.
That's what it sounds like.
Understandable.
I mean, yeah.
One last time. 5799. You're live.
Oh man. Somebody butt dialed us.
Tough way to end the night.
Oh, so anticlimactic.
Very.
5799. I've got that written down, dude. Well, yeah.
We'll get them next week.
We're on the how did the new start time work out for everybody? I liked it.
I loved it. Yeah.
We saw the sun go down behind you, Cole.
Fantastic. Absolutely.
And did you know your mic has a green light on it?
Yeah, I was hoping it would stay green, because when I bought it, it wasn't fully charged, and it made it through with just 2 bars. So pretty good. I'm going to go back and listen to audio. This might be the new way.
It's good. It's good. It's much better than your computer mic if you didn't have one. So yes.
Oh yeah, computer mic sucks. I hate that. I hate using that.
Well, to wrap up the show, I love the football talk. I think there's so many talking points that we're going to have throughout this offseason, and we still got 2 more months June, July. Yep, 2 more months of the all season. It's going to be full of recruiting. All this month of June is going to be full of recruiting. Auburn's had 14 in this weekend. They're going to have 3 more top dogs, at least 3 more that we know of on Tuesday to Thursday. Then they're going to have another big 12 or 13 coming in next weekend. The same for the next 2 weekends. All the weekends in June are going to be chock full of official visits. You're going to start getting into commitments in the month of July and August, and then the start of the season, of course, is at the end of at the end of August. So there's a lot going on. Of course, the baseball, Zach, update on the baseball game.
Still 0-0, bottom of the third.
Who's winning?
0-0.
The Falcons.
Yeah.
Oh man, what movie was that from? I think it was from Leslie Nielsen or something. Leslie, if anybody can tell me what movie that was from.
Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, it's like an airplane movie.
Airplane or Naked Gun or something?
Naked Gun. That's it, maybe. What's the score? 0-0. Who's winning? The Eagles.
Yeah, that's right.
You idiot. All right, man. Fantastic show. We definitely missed Alan. We're going to get him back next week. I think we're going to roll with this 7 o'clock start time, folks. So
we got some callers back tonight. Picked up. Yeah.
I think it gives a little bit of, post supper, go out and have you a cigar and still get you a shower and come on in and sit down and kind of, it's more of a time to sit down on a Sunday night, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, right.
6:30, you're still kind of, let me go grab me this. And what I'm saying. So I liked it. I thought it was well received. Also want to give a shout out to the boys in the Pokey. Oh, cuz, what's his name?
In the Pokey?
Yeah, in the lockup. Gosh, what's his name? Shane or something? Yeah, the guy in jail, man.
Oh, yes.
Shane. I think you're right, Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shane now. And the Pokey.
Sorry, I wasn't familiar with that term.
In the county lockup. Or maybe it was federal. I don't know.
I don't
know. How about you to those fellas? We're going, like I said, we're going to be doing recruiting a lot. We're going to be following the baseball team now that the golf team. I know all 7 of you that were really following the golf team very closely. That's a joke, folks. It's a joke with the message board, folks. Golf season's over with. So you've got baseball. I think softball ended last weekend. We lost to Florida State. So all the attention is going to be on recruiting and football moving forward as soon as baseball gets to this World Series. So we're going to be recruiting. We're going to have a heavy recruiting show this week, either going to be Wednesday morning or Thursday morning. I think Wednesday morning is what we're looking at right now. And then we'll be back next Sunday night at 7 o'clock Central Time for another call-in show. Going to keep this going, man. Had a great show tonight. Kevin, Carter, Eric, Anthony, Darren, and Paw Patrol there at the end. Appreciate everybody calling in, man. One more time, if you're in Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, looking for some real estate help, look no further for that help. Give her a call, Jessica Andrus with the Talons Group, 334-704-4442. Please tell her we sent you. All right, folks, that's going to do it, man. Thanks so much. We really appreciate y'all listening. We appreciate y'all watching. Couldn't do it without you. We'll see you back next week. For Cole Pinkston, for Zach in the back, who stayed in the back, I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Y'all stay at that left lane. See ya.